Once upon a time, in a small village named Oakville, there was a young girl named Emily. She had big blue eyes and brown hair that she always tied in a ponytail. Emily loved to explore and dream about adventures. Her best friend was a dog named Max. Max was a brown and white dog with a wagging tail and happy eyes. Emily and Max went everywhere together. One sunny morning, Emily and Max decided to go for a walk in the woods. The woods were thick with tall trees and green leaves. The birds sang songs, and the squirrels jumped from branch to branch. Emily loved the sound of the leaves crunching under her feet. She felt like an explorer in a new world. As they walked deeper into the woods, they saw something strange. There was a small cottage that Emily had never seen before. It was hidden behind tall bushes and ivy. The cottage was old and looked like it had been there for many years. The wind was misty, and the door was slightly open. "Let's see what's inside," Emily whispered to Max. Max wagged his tail and followed Emily to the cottage. Emily pushed the door open gently. The door creaked, and they stepped inside. The cottage was dark and quiet. There was old furniture covered in dust and cobwebs hanging from the ceiling. Emily saw a big, old bookshelf filled with books. The books looked old and worn out. Some of them had titles that Emily could not read because the letters were faded. On a small table in the corner, Emily saw a shiny key. It was golden and looked very special. Emily picked up the key and wondered what it could open. She looked around the cottage but did not see any locks or doors that needed a key. The key opened something outside, Emily thought. She put the key in her pocket and decided to explore the outside of the cottage. Emily and Max walked around the cottage. They saw a small garden with overgrown plants and flowers. In the middle of the garden, there was a stone statue of a lady holding a book. The statue looked old and magical. As Emily looked closer, she saw a small keyhole at the base of the statue. Emily's heart started to beat faster. She took the golden key out of her pocket and gently put it into the keyhole. The key fit perfectly. Emily turned the key, and suddenly, the statue moved to the side, revealing a hidden staircase that led underground. Emily and Max looked at each other with excitement. They carefully walked down the stairs. The staircase was narrow and dark, but Emily was brave. At the bottom of the stairs, they found a big wooden door. Emily pushed the door open, and they entered a large underground room. The room was filled with treasures. There were gold coins, sparkling jewels, and beautiful paintings. Emily and Max could not believe their eyes. But then, Emily saw something even more special. In the center of the room, there was a large, open book on a stand. The book had a golden cover and shiny letters. Emily walked up to the book and started to read. The book was a diary of an old wizard who had lived in the cottage many years ago. The wizard wrote about his adventures and his magic. He had hidden the treasures to keep them safe from bad people. The book also said that the key Emily found was the key to unlocking the magic of the treasures. Emily felt very happy. She knew she had found something very special. She and Max spent some time looking at the treasures. Emily knew she had to keep the secret safe, just like the old wizard did. Emily and Max went back to the village, but they often visited the cottage and the underground room. They knew they had found a secret place full of magic and history. Emily promised to take care of the treasures and keep the magic alive. From that day on, Emily and Max's walks in the woods were always exciting. They knew they had a special secret that only they knew. And so, the mystery of the cottage by the woods remained a magical adventure for Emily and Max forever. One rainy afternoon, Emily sat by her window, watching the raindrops tap against the glass. She thought about the cottage and the hidden treasures. She wondered what other secrets the woods might hold. Emily decided that as soon as the rain stopped, she and Max would go on another adventure. The next morning, the sun was shining again. Emily put on her boots and called Max together. They walked back to the woods, eager to explore more. They walked past the familiar path to the cottage and ventured deeper into the woods than ever before. After walking for a while, Emily and Max found a small, clear pond. The water was so clear that Emily could see the fish swimming. There were colorful flowers around the pond, and it looked like a perfect place to rest. Emily sat on a rock, and Max lay down beside her. As Emily looked around, she noticed something shiny at the bottom of the pond. It looked like another key, but this one was silver. Emily was curious. She reached into the water and picked up the key. It was cold and felt different from the golden key she had found in the cottage. "What do you think this key opens, Max?" Emily asked. Max barked happily, as if he was ready for another adventure. Emily and Max continued their journey, holding the silver key. They walked until they found a small, rocky hill. At the base of the hill, there was a wooden door that looked like it was part of the hill itself. Emily's heart beat faster. She took the silver key and tried it in the door. The key fit perfectly, and the door opened with a creak. Inside the hill, there was a narrow tunnel. Emily and Max walked through the tunnel, which led them to another underground room. This was different from the one they found under the cottage. It was filled with strange artifacts and mysterious objects. There were old maps on the walls and strange symbols on the floor. In the center of the room, there was a large chest. Emily walked up to the chest and opened it. Inside, she found old scrolls and papers. As she read the scrolls, she discovered that they were written by the same wizard who had lived in the cottage. Scrolls talked about magical places hidden in the woods and the secrets they held. Emily realized that the woods were full of hidden mysteries. The wizard had left clues and keys for those who were brave enough to find them. Emily and Max were excited to explore more and uncover the secrets of the woods. Over the next few weeks, Emily and Max found more hidden places in the woods. They found a cave filled with glowing crystals, a hidden waterfall with a magical rainbow, and a treehouse that seemed to be built by fairies. Each place had its own magic and wonders. Emily kept a journal of all their adventures. She drew pictures of the places they found and wrote about the treasures and secrets they uncovered. Emily knew that the woods were special, and she felt lucky to be part of its magic. One day, while exploring a new part of the woods, Emily and Max found an old, abandoned treehouse. The treehouse was high up in a tall oak tree. Emily climbed up the wooden ladder with Max following behind her. Inside the treehouse, they found old toys, books, and a dusty telescope. Emily looked through the telescope and saw the village in the distance. She also saw the pond, the rocky hill, and the other places they had explored. Emily realized that the treehouse was a perfect spot to see the entire woods. Emily and Max made the treehouse their special lookout point. They visited it often and used the telescope to look for new places to explore. They felt like true adventurers, always ready for the next mystery. As the years passed, Emily grew older, but she never stopped exploring the woods. She and Max discovered many more magical places and kept the secrets safe. Emily shared her adventures with her friends and family, but she always kept the most magical secrets between herself and Max. One day, Emily found a small box hidden under a tree near the cottage. Inside the box, there was a letter from the old wizard. The letter thanked Emily for keeping the magic of the woods alive and promised that the magic would always be there for those who believed in it. Emily felt a deep sense of happiness and fulfillment. She knew that the woods were a special place, filled with wonder and magic. She also knew that she and Max had become part of its history and its secrets. And so, Emily and Max continued adventures, knowing that the woods held endless mysteries and magic. They walked the paths with joy and curiosity, always ready for the next discovery.